Hey, welcome. My name's Jo Muirhead and I am a breast cancer survivor. Today is the 5th of July 2021 and I was diagnosed with bilateral breast cancer on the 14th of February 2020. And from around the 14th, 15th of February for the last 18 months, I have been recording various vlog episodes, videos, diaries of what my experience with this diagnosis has been like. So it's getting to the point where I'm confident and comfortable in sharing it. And the reason why I've hesitated, well, there's lots of reasons why I've hesitated. And as you work your way through these episodes, you'll understand where that hesitation has come from. So I've struggled for a while thinking about adding more noise to the breast cancer stories that already exist in our heads. If you start researching breast cancer, you will see there is so much information. There is great information available. There are a lot of women wanting to share their stories, and rightly so. One of the things that was incredibly empowering for me right back in the beginning was connecting with women who had been on this journey before me. And I was so surprised at the amount of support and kindness and compassion that came from fellow breast cancer survivors, even those who were diagnosed and treated 20 years ago. There is something about this experience that fundamentally rocks who we are as women. As you go through these videos and as you talk to other people, you will understand that this doesn't just get treated as a disease. This is identity shifting. And I didn't realize that. I have worked with post-cancer survivors for 5 or 6 years prior to my own diagnosis, and I've been able to do that well, and I've been able to do that because of my skills in building rapport, my ability to be empathetic, and my heart to serve and have compassion for people. What's turned up for me now that I have a no evidence of disease label attached, and I'm still feeling so unwell, is that who I am feels very different to who I was the few days before I was diagnosed. So in sharing this information, I am seriously not interested in being anybody's inspiration porn. One of the reasons I stopped posting was because I was struggling to cope with the people who were telling me I was inspiring. It made me feel sick because I was not inspired by my own story. But now I understand that there will be newly diagnosed people in this world who will want to stand on my shoulders. So I have a responsibility, and I want to share what this experience has been like for me so that we can actually add to the body of knowledge that is breast cancer. Because being diagnosed, going through treatment and finishing treatment is not the end of this story, and not enough is being spoken about in terms of how this impacts you for a long time afterwards. So when I've created these videos, I've had a few different people in mind that I wanted to impact or influence. I want to talk to women who are newly diagnosed or going through their own treatment. I want you to know you're not alone, and that any of the feelings you feel are valid, are necessary, are horrible, and there is nothing that you can experience that's going to make this I just want, my heart goes out to you to say you're not alone, and you might feel like no one else is going to talk to you about the things you're experiencing. Please put your hand up and ask for help. To the friends of those wanting to support women going through breast cancer, please watch this and learn how to use language, how to resist the temptation to fix everything, how to ask a better question, and how to show genuine support. When a woman is newly diagnosed, don't just say, I will do anything to help. We actually need you to work out what that help is. To family members who are going to ride the trauma of this experience with us, I want you to know that you are not lost in this process and this system. but you don't get spoken to a lot. So please, again, put your hand up and say, I need some help. I want someone to talk to. There are so many cancer services around. It's just hard to access them. And quite often we don't feel deserving of being able to access them because we're always hearing stories of people who have it worse than us. Anyone who has an experience of cancer has got it bad. It's not nice. Not a death sentence for everyone, but this is not something you want to have happen. And finally, for treatment and healthcare professionals, I really want to help inform your work with us because I have been disappointed, hurt, ignored, belittled by well-meaning health professionals throughout this journey, which has made asking for help so hard. Having your body chopped up and poisonous chemicals put in it and drugs to take to help with side effects of the drugs you need to take, living with chronic fatigue, chronic pain, anxiety, depression, PTSD, chronic migraines, telling us that treatment was successful is really hard to hear. Please understand, treatment and health professionals, that your job is not done just because there is no evidence of disease or just because you did your surgery bit right. We are whole people. We are bio, we are psycho, we are social, and every time you come to us with a drug or a chemical or a scalpel or a suggestion, you are contributing to our biopsychosocial experience. So many more health professionals need to understand what it is that care is during this entire process, because it is not the absence of disease. It is being cared for throughout this entire experience. So as I bear a lot of myself, I will be raw, I will be vulnerable. There are many of these episodes that I don't necessarily feel good about, but they are my experience. For those of you who have young children or young people, I would suggest they don't watch these without parental supervision. There will be swear words, there will be profanities, and there'll be talks about female body parts and female experiences that you may not be ready to have discussions with other people about. So just put that there as a disclaimer. None of what you're about to watch is health advice. I am not here as a health or treatment professional. I am here sharing my lived experience. I'm here sharing what has been a tumultuous and incredibly difficult time for me, with the hope that this will add to the body of knowledge so that the next woman who watches this can learn something, and so that she can add to the next body of knowledge, so that the women who get diagnosed after me have more resources, more compassion, more self-awareness, so that we don't have to keep living these mistakes or these errors or this sense of failure or this discomfort again and again and again. So join me on my journey, and please, health professionals, resist the temptation to diagnose me every step of the way. I have really good support, and I am now sharing this some 12 months after all this started, so I have not done this on the run. Anyone who is living through their own cancer experience, I wish you every success with your treatment. I want to see you, I want to hear you, and I want you to know how much and how greatly you are loved through this experience.